Like to call this meeting to order. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. Everyone please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. You have to bear with us. We have like all our usuals not here. It's okay. Tony's taking roll call.
Mrs. Iannello? Here. Mrs. Torbic? Here. Mrs. Brawley? Present. Mrs. Zottarelli?
Present.
Mr. Accomando? Mrs. Traverso? Here. Mrs. Mahoney? Here. Mr. Laurentino?
Here.
Mr. Scherer?
We have a quorum. Okay, at this point, I'd like to turn the meeting over to our superintendent, Mrs. Violetti.
I will save all my announcements for Wednesday, my updates.
Okay, Mr. Crowdy's not here, so we don't have a business administrator's report. Let's go through our agenda. I'd like to open the meeting for public comment on agenda items only. Anyone wishing to speak? Okay, we're not going to open the meeting. All right, board action items B212244 to B212249. Any discussion? Any questions?
I would point out the two items in bold are two donations that were brought to our attention. I will elaborate more on them on Wednesday, but very generous donations. And also, I guess I should share, speaking of donations, the foundation also is presenting their grant awards at Wednesday's meeting. So that's another donation to look out for.
Under education and curriculum, Mrs. Torbic.
Our microphone is not working, so we can't turn it on. Okay. For items E2122.65 to E2122.73. Any discussion? Through the chair, I have a question. Oh, wait. Okay, for E2122.275, the Marines coming in, do you know when that grant will come in? Do you know, have any, a timeline?
No, I was told by our supervisor of athletics that we did not hear anything back from them yet, and he was still awaiting word.
Okay. And then for the next one, the outdoor classroom for the elementary, is that for all of the classrooms?
So it is an outdoor classroom for each elementary building, including Washington School. So I was going to share on Wednesday, but it's a list of items with an outdoor shed, and inside of that shed, it's whiteboards, communicators, flexible seating. There's a list of items I have that I will share on Wednesday.
Any teacher can use?
Any teacher can use, correct.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
each principal has also surveyed their building ground for a good location for an outdoor classroom.
Through the chair, I just want to make sure I understood. For the discrete math, will that still be offered as an honors course and a CP class, or it's just going to be a CP class?
Just going to be a CP class.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, under finance, budget, and facilities, F2122.137 to F2122 973. Any questions or discussion?
Sorry. I'm assuming that these amounts are gonna be put in here for 167, 68, 69, we're gonna have all those?
Correct.
67,
They will
68,
be
69.
put in. Mr. Karate apologized. He's at orientation for
Yeah.
his daughter, and when he gets back, he will.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, next, policy, Mr. Laurentino.
Sorry, turn my mic on. Reference to policy R 1613 through, turn the pages a lot. R 9320, any questions or discussions? The superintendent, I believe he sent out the report to everybody, so I'll have a chance to review that if they have any questions.
I am the chair. Are we going to discuss the results of the survey Wednesday, okay? Negotiations. N 2122.3 to N 2122.4. Any discussion? Questions?
I would assume that,
Not as of yet.
oh, is that why it's still on? Okay.
Okay, we can't do personnel. Okay, are there any committee reports? Rich's not here. Negotiations, we'll wait for Wednesday. Policy, we're gonna wait for Wednesday. Any liaison reports that wanna be reported tonight?
Okay, I just wanted to remind everyone that the PTO board meeting is tonight at 7:30, and there's a link that was sent out by Mr. Meisch.
Thank you. Is there any correspondence? Any old business? Any new business?
Our meetings, we Zoom those, correct? Our meetings? We do our meetings on Zoom?
We're live streamed on the YouTube channel.
What? Oh,
Live
YouTube channel?
streamed on the YouTube
Okay,
channel.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Open the meeting to the public. Anyone wishing to speak? Yes. Okay, we don't have to open the meeting to the public. Like to make a motion to close this portion of the meeting? Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Like to make a motion to go into closed? Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Like to close out and say goodbye to everyone and see you Wednesday.
Is there any, no, we don't have any intention of doing any business after
Oh.
closed, or do we?
All right, I will read that if I have it. All right, it's on tonight's agenda, thanks. I need raised cheat sheets. Before we close the meeting, whereas the Board of Education must discuss matters which are not appropriate for discussion in a public meeting, and whereas these subjects are within the exceptions of the Open Public Meetings Act and are permitted to be discussed in closed session pursuant to NJSA 10-412B, and whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss matters as follow. NJSA 10-412B, 3 HIB cases
Also, personnel.
and personnel. Whereas the length of the closed session is estimated to be approximately 45 to 60 minutes, after which the public meeting of the board shall reconvene and action will not be taken. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education will recess into closed session for only the aforesaid subjects. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education hereby declares that its discussion of the aforesaid subjects will be made public at a time when the public's interest in disclosure is greater than any privacy or governmental interest being protected from disclosure in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Now I'd like to adjourn into closed.
Okay. So adjourned.
So adjourned.